Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. First off, I got a new camera. As you can probably tell if you've seen these videos before, the quality is a bazillion times better. Today I'm just gonna be talking about makeup basics. If you're new to makeup, what should you have? What should you invest in? What should you have that's drugstore versus a little bit higher end? What do you not need? What do you absolutely need? Only got into makeup probably 2 years ago. I've worn makeup probably since I was 14, 15 years old. I just wasn't good at it. And then all of a sudden I kind of got into YouTube and started watching YouTubers and just had a big interest in learning makeup artistry and learning about products. I'm not an expert by any means, but it's just kind of what I've learned and what essentially I would have told my 15, 16-year-old self who thought that she looked good and had good products, but actually didn't. If you don't just want to go and splurge and buy a bunch of random things that you're not going to need, here's kind of what I think you should have just to get your collection started. I'm gonna start very basic actually with skincare. Skincare with makeup is super duper important. I don't care if you only wear powder and mascara, you need to be taking your makeup off every night. Whether it's wipes like these or just a really good face wash. I really like to think of your face as an actual canvas like you would paint on. If you have a bad canvas, you're just gonna have to apply more paint. You're gonna have to be more careful with the paint and you're gonna have to have better brushes. If you have at least a good canvas to start with, you can kind of play around with the paint essentially or makeup. But on the other hand, you can kind of paint over a bad canvas. A good canvas can't hide bad paint or makeup also. So you kind of have to have some good products to go along with that no matter what. I'm not really gonna get into that now. It's just kind of the base for foundation for your skin. There are a bunch of different kinds. Kind that reduce oil, shine. You can get kinds that kind of fill in your pores. You can get like a color correcting. At its core, a primer is going to help your foundation go on better and it's going to help it last longer and not be as smeary. And again, if you have any sort of problem skin, it's going to kind of try to cancel that out before the foundation has to go in. It doesn't really matter if it's drugstore or high-end. I use a more high-end product. I should say this is a Too Faced Prime Poreless. Find something that fits your needs. Spend not your maximum budget on that. I would say get a more high-end just because I think it's better for your skin. It's going to be a better formula, but a drugstore one is just fine. Definitely have a primer in your kit if you're going to wear foundation. Drugstore, high-end, I don't think it matters. I think the biggest thing here is color. Obviously, that's the whole point, is to even out your skin tone, make it look clear. We've all seen people whose foundation does not match, and it's a tragedy. Test on areas that don't need as much color correcting. So maybe on your arm, on the back of your hand, as long as that kind of matches what you think your skin tone is or how you want your skin tone to look. Please don't use your foundation to look more tan. If you need to look more tan, use fake tanner on your whole body and then get your foundation to match. If you do use a tanner and your skin tone kind of changes, you'll want to look into probably getting a couple different shades, at least 2 or 3 that you can mix together. You always want to compare it to how your face looks in the daylight. That's going to be your true skin tone. That is foundation. You're gonna want to get a good concealer. This I do recommend maybe getting a little bit nicer one. The cheaper ones tend to be very cakey, very creasy, and just don't stay on as well. They're gonna kind of smudge the rest of your face. At least go a little bit higher end on the drugstore side, if not kind of higher end, more like Sephora designer makeup. I am currently using the Born This Way concealer by Too Faced. Tarte also has really good concealers. As far as color goes, I would get a couple. Concealer is really good for highlighting of the under eye, kind of hiding that darkness, for hiding darker spots. Also get one that's fairly close to your skin tone. If you have a spot or a mark or whatever, it's gonna hide it a lot better than the foundation does. So if you have a good foundation product that you use and they also have concealer, you might want to check that out. You're gonna do some like hardcore contouring, like your whole face, get a cream, just get a darker shade of your foundation or just like a thicker concealer like I just talked about. If you're not gonna do any hardcore contouring but maybe just kind of want some bronze on your cheek, find one that looks good for you. Really with bronzers, it's just kind of a matter of warm and cool. By warm or cool, I mean, does the bronzer have more like orangey undertones or is it a little more kind of like grayed out? So this one is much more like orangey, kind of like peachy. This is cooler. You can see it's more, I mean, it's hard to kind of pinpoint a color, but it's much more cool toned than this. It is not as orangey. It's a little more green, kind of grayed out. You want bronzer to look natural. You don't want anyone to be like, hey, you have bronzer all over your face. So again, just kind of match it to your skin tone. Match it to your skin tone, see what works best, and just see if you like that look on your skin. You're gonna wanna look for a brush that is a bit softer. You're gonna wanna look for one that has natural hairs on the top. Usually they will be two-toned, so you can tell, like this one. What natural hairs do is just kind of smooth it out, blend it out. It's not gonna be like this thick coverage, just more soft and subtle. So yeah, that is that with bronzer. Blush. Does it matter? No, I don't think so. I think the high-end products are just gonna have more of a pigment. Blush, doesn't matter. Find some colors you like. If it's crappy, toss it. If it's great, keep it and buy more. Highlighter. Do you need to get high-end? No. Do you need to test out the product on your face before you buy it? Yeah, I love highlighter. It's so fun. And I bought a lot just because I look at it, I'm like, yes, I want that shiny stuff like on my face. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so great. And then I get home and I try it and it just doesn't really work for me. For example, this is the Urban Decay Naked Illuminated, and I mean, it's gorgeous. Like, it looks so pretty. For me, I put it on my face and it just is too like sparkly and it's too pink on my face. I'm just not having it. It doesn't work for me. This, on the other hand, this is the Tarte Skin Twinkle and I'm obsessed with it. But it's just a matter of what you like on your skin. Price, I don't think really matters. Am I always gonna say the higher end products are maybe a little bit better? Yeah, I think so for the most part, but this one is really just preference. Don't invest your money in if you don't care too much. With highlighter, and same with bronzer, if you aren't already feeling like you need it, I wouldn't get those. If you're literally starting from scratch, I wouldn't get blush or highlighter or bronzer first. If that makes sense. Sorry, I keep moving around. Yes, get one. And what a translucent powder is, well, that's a really good question. It's translucent powder, so basically I'm showing you nothing. It actually looks white in here. What that does is just kind of set the makeup. How do I define that? Keeps it from moving around. It's also gonna kind of keep you from getting oily if you do. As far as high-end versus drugstore, I don't think it matters. Not super important, but if being oily and getting creasy is your problem, I would just invest in a good one. Eyebrows. If you plan on filling in your eyebrows, which you should do some sort of maintenance with your eyebrows. If you have really thick eyebrows, just kind of keep them in check by plucking them. If you have really thin, kind of sparse ones, filling them in a little bit. Do some sort of upkeep with eyebrows. It's really a focal point of the face. The way you shape them is just really going to affect the way you look. I mean, if you have like magical eyebrows already, like power to you, that's awesome. I have really sparse, thin, light ones, so I basically have to draw mine on completely. There's tons of tutorials on this. I'm not gonna go through it, but as far as products go, I would say you're definitely gonna need a pencil or a gel or something. I could not recommend the Anastasia Beverly Hills products more. Am I saying you have to get them? No. Am I saying you should? Probably. I use the Dip Brow, I always do that, Dip Brow pomade and the Brow Wiz, which is like a little pencil with a spoolie. These products are amazing. I've tried other ones. I really can't speak for any other product that is better than this. They are gonna be a little more pricey. So if you can find one similar, go ahead. I think I've honestly used this since the beginning of my eyebrow journey. So eyebrows, I think you should do them. I think you should maintain them in some way, shape, or form. If you just have, you know, good eyebrows and need to kind of keep them in check, a good brow gel. This is just the e.l.f. brand that I use. Definitely drugstore product is just fine. Yay, go get your eyebrows on fleek. Doesn't matter. Find one, test it out, draw some lines, see what it looks like. Just get an eyeliner, black, brown, whatever, it doesn't matter. I literally grab one at the drugstore that's just sitting there. It doesn't matter. Can you see my cat in the back? Mascara, again, doesn't matter. Find a good one, test them out. When I was starting, I would buy a new mascara every single time. Feel free to just test it out, drugstore, whatever. I did end up finding one that I am obsessed with and I buy it every time now. Just because it separates the lashes, it makes them longer, it doesn't get clumpy, it stays on all day, like dream product, right? And that is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm obsessed with it and it's proven to be the best for me, but this is $23, I believe, versus $6 or $7 or something. It just depends on your budget. Woo! Step 1. Get a primer. Step 2, use the primer every time you put a dab of eyeshadow on. It is going to keep it from creasing. It's going to keep it from falling on your face. You do not want your eyeshadow creasing and falling and just like losing color over the day. I did not used to use it. I thought it was silly. I thought my eyeshadow was fine. Once I started using it, I realized, heck no, girl, you needed this your whole life. Eyeshadow, I have definitely noticed a difference in the quality of my eyeshadow. A cheaper eyeshadow just isn't going to be as pigmented. You're going to have to use a lot more product to get that color that you want versus, sorry, I keep like looking at my eyeshadows, versus a high-end product that is more pigmented. Some really, really good, a little bit higher end eyeshadows are the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I have several of those and those are currently my favorites. Lipstick is the last product. Again, another one, pick it up, have fun with it. There are definitely bad cheap lipsticks out there. There are good high-end lipsticks out there. There are good cheap lipsticks out there, and there are bad high-end lipsticks out there. Was that all necessary to say? I don't think so. These are probably $6, you know, this was $3, but then I have like a $30 one here, like a $32 one. If you plan on using lipstick, get a couple lip liners that match several shades that you like. They don't have to match exactly. Like my three main ones are just a nude color, a pink color, and a red color, and then I have a little darker red too, which I don't know where it is. But yeah, definitely just have fun with it. Oh, the very last thing, my bad, wait, there's two things. Brushes, oh my god. Do not use the same brush for more than one thing. If you are using your foundation brush for your blush, honey, no. Get another brush. Morphe has really good brushes that aren't too expensive. Sigma has brushes that are a little more expensive, but they're not crazy. In my opinion, drugstore makeup brushes are just a waste of your money altogether, to be honest. Beauty blenders are also a really good investment. Please don't judge how dirty mine is. It's kind of like a little sponge. You get it damp and it blends out concealer and foundation really well. It gives you a very nice natural look. These are like $20. Sometimes like when I need a new one, I'm like, oh, but it's $20 for a sponge. But it's like the best sponge you'll ever have in your life. Okay, last but not least. Yes, you need this. Doesn't matter if it's drugstore or high-end, no. But a setting spray, get it. Once you're finished with your makeup, you spray it all over your face, you can go in a swimming pool and the stuff is not gonna move, okay? This is gonna just keep things on there. Woo! I think that's it for makeup basics. That was kind of a lot, I understand. But I just kind of wanted to go over everything that you might want. Again, some are extras. I would say some are very foundational. But if you're starting at the basics, those are some very foundational things to start with, and then just a few extras that you can have fun with. That's about it. I hope that was helpful for any beginners. I'd be happy to answer any other questions you have or do more product recommendations. I just didn't want this video to be super product-y, like buy this, buy this, buy this. I just kind of wanted to give an overview of everything. I would love to hear your comments down below just with any questions or any other tips you have. Please subscribe too. I'll definitely be doing like more detailed videos and answering questions. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, if you found it helpful. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night or afternoon or whatever it is. I will see you next time. What? I don't really know what I'm saying. Please, for the love of God. Say hello. Blah, blah, blah.